I get asked a lot, is learning the piano hard? Like, how long does it take? You know, what's a good age to start playing? And is there an age where you just over the hill and it's just too late for you to learn the piano? So let me answer each one of those questions. One at a time, baby. One at a time. I believe in terms of what age to get started, it's up to the child. I've seen all different ages. Like I actually saw a girl who was like a prodigy. She was 2 years old, and it was the most amazing thing. She was actually able to play the piano. Like, I mean, not like obviously, she wasn't like playing like with two hands and playing complete songs, but she was playing at 2 years old. I was blown away. So it's really up to the child. Some people when they're young, they're not able to focus. And, it's going to be a little bit more challenging. They might have to wait a little bit because there really does require, you have to pay attention. You know what I mean? You have to want to learn. That's the key. But I've seen kids 5 years old, 6 years old. I started when I was 10. All right. That's when I started. But I really wanted to learn, so I used to just right from the get go. No teacher had to force me to practice. I wanted to practice. I was practicing like 4 or 5 hours every day. I had my Casio keyboard I started off with, and I would be in my room in Brooklyn, Brooklyn, New York, my parents' house, and I would be playing the piano for hours. I loved it. So that's another thing. It helps if you love it, and I mean, obviously now, when you're an adult, it's very difficult to practice 4 to 5 hours a day. This is when I was young. I was a kid. But do you have to practice that long? No. I mean, I've seen cases. See, it really all depends on what's the purpose. You want to just play the piano because you want to have fun, you want to play your favorite songs. You could get that very quickly. You don't have to. See, that's the thing. Sometimes teachers, they train everyone to be like this, classical trained pianist. And I had teachers like this. I had these, again, you'd be like, what do you say, Russian teacher? It's just my teacher was Russian. That's it. That's the bottom line. She was very strict, you know, and she used to slap my hands, if you could believe this. She had like, this like stick. It was like a ruler, and she used to like hit my hands if I wasn't in the right, position, C major, position. If I wasn't, using the right fingers, if I was too stiff, she would hit me with the ruler, and I used to try to tell this teacher, I'm like, look, I just want to learn how to play my songs. She's like, like silence. Yeah. She's like, play scales. That's it. Play scales, play exercises from the Hanon book. And I used to do all the exercises from Hanon. And it was very boring. It was very tedious. And I realized there was so much more to music, but she was training me to be like a robot. She was training me where I was going to be technically amazing, but and I was going to be obviously someone who could sight read and be a great reader of music, but not so much on the creative side. It wasn't until I met my teacher John Solo, who was he was a jazz pianist. He was a big shot at the Manhattan School of Music, which is a jazz music college in New York, and he taught there and he taught privately. And he really was the one who made me learn about chords and music theory and, just how to arrange music, how to harmonize, how to improvise, how to be creative. And that's when I started thinking, wow, there's so much I could do here with the piano. And that would be my suggestion to anyone. Learn, before you get into this whole classical thing where you're doing all the exercise. I mean, you have to do it at first. Listen, all of us, because you have to build strength in your fingers. So you have to do the exercises, you have to do the scales, but to only focus on that and focus on reading music, which is very important. But if you just learn your basic chords, like your major chords, your minor chords, and you understand the three most important things in music, ready? Is harmony, melody, and rhythm. Okay, so once you understand that, okay, you're gonna learn that every song that you hear has those three things. No matter what style of music you're listening to, every song that you listen to has harmony, melody, and rhythm. Now let's talk a little bit about harmony. Harmony is when you're playing more than one note at the same time, like two or more notes. Normally this happens, if you're a piano player, you could do it with two hands. But in the very beginning, normally I teach students to play harmony with their left hand. So they'll play like a C major chord, and then I'll teach them how to play the melody with their right hand. Now, as you get more advanced, you'll be able to do those two things at the same time using two hands. You'll be harmonizing, playing, all these different types of voicings with two hands. But in the beginning, I teach it where the left hand is for harmony, the right hand is for melody. And then rhythm is playing in tempo and how fast and how slow you're playing the notes. Like, I'll give you a quick lesson, okay? Assuming you're in 4/4 time, which is common time, okay? That's majority of the music you're going to listen to is in 4/4, meaning you got 1, 2, 3, 4, then it goes to the next measure. So quarter notes, I already get one beat. So I'm going to give you a little lesson. Okay, that you'll see it's colored in the note. The stem is going up. That's a quarter note. So every time you hear my finger snap, this is a quarter note. Ba, 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 ba. You just did 4 quarter notes. Half notes, they get 2 beats. So you have to actually hold it. Ba, ba. You hear the difference between the quarter note? It's every time I snap my finger, you're playing it. Ba, 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 ba. But with a half note, you got to hold it for 2 beats. Ba, ba. A dotted half note gets 3 beats. Ba, release. And a whole note gets 4 beats. Ba, release. Okay, so a half note looks like a quarter note, but it's not colored in and it has the stem going up. A dotted half note, same thing. It's not colored in. The stem is going up, but it's got a dot next to it. And a whole note is just a small circle. Okay, and here I'm going to give you the basics. The piano, you'll see a pattern. 2 black keys, 3 black keys. Underneath the 2 black keys, the 3 white notes are going to be C, D, and E. And then when you see the black notes, the 3 black notes, underneath them is 4 white notes, F, G, A, B. So just from this one video, I pretty much taught you a lot, believe it or not. Learn your notes on the piano. Every time you see 2 black keys, the white notes underneath it are C, D, E. 3 black keys, the 4 white notes are F, G, A, B. We'll talk about the black notes, the sharps, and the flats in another video. It's not that hard. I can teach all of my subscribers how to learn the piano. I really can. And I'm going to start making some videos on it. This was the first one.